Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. So today's video, it's not going to be an instructional video. It's not going to be one that's showing you what I'm doing. I need your advice and I need your help, and hopefully you'll be able to help and guide me into what I'm trying to do. I'm really not sure how much more rain that we can take here. Look at that. This is the entrance to my greenhouse, and I've cut a little channel to try and drain it, and the water's just going to come in pouring into my greenhouse now. So what I might do is I might just make a little ditch all along this side and try and drain that little bit. The water table in this corner is really high. I mean, if I dig about a foot down, probably 2 foot in the summer, it starts filling up with water. So the water table in this in this garden is generally quite high, but the ground is absolutely sodden. I mean, you can hear it squelching everywhere I step. It's just like, it's completely sodden. The water flowing down the side of this greenhouse, and it's just, there you go, you can hear it. You can see the water just puddled up everywhere in the grass. There's no end of rain. So what I'm thinking, see there's, oh, nearly went then. Nearly went. What I did initially with these beds was we dug a lot of these beds out and then filled it with wood and rotting wood to try and create a soakaway. That's good for the beds. I mean, we did that with that middle bed, but we didn't do it as much with this bed. And this bed suffered a bit because it's still quite heavy clay, even though it's been improved over the years. It's one of the last beds that we made. There used to be a little channel that ran just here, but whenever it rained, that'd flow with water. There's still a little ditch just over here, and that pulls some of the water. So what I'm thinking is to try and get this garden to drain a bit more easily, is maybe a small swale that fits in down this path. So a swale down this path, because what happens generally is in the winter we get completely soaked with water and it gets completely waterlogged, and then in the summer sometimes it completely dries out, and that's one of the nasty things with clay. So what I'm thinking is maybe a swale down this path to hold the water for this bed, and it can slowly seep into the bed, and then another swale, a smaller swale, just down this path. And maybe another swale up here in front of this bed. We've naturally got a ditch here anyway. It's naturally lower down. So potentially another swale there. Or maybe even something in the middle of the lawn. Some kind of swale dug into the middle of the lawn. The lawn's not too bad, because what I do with it at this time of the year is when I empty some of my growing pots, I'll just chuck a lot of this compost onto the grass, and that'll feed the lawn for the rest of the year. So I don't have to use chemical fertilizers. I can just use this compost that sometimes, especially if I get potato scab in some of my potato pots, I can spread this onto the beds, and it'll feed the lawn, and the lawn will still make use of it. So that's one of the good things that I do with that. And I'm not spreading the potato scab to the rest of my beds. So I don't know. If you could give me your thoughts on what I could do to improve drainage in the summer but help water retention in the winter, I'd really appreciate that. Because so far I'm thinking 3 swales, or 3 kind of drainage ditches dug into in front of the three beds, the three main beds, and that'll line up somewhat with some of the paths on the other side as well. I'll show you the other side. That's one side of the garden, and we could potentially use this path then to catch water when it rains. So whenever it rains, this path could, if I fix this path up at some point, we could use this path, because it's concrete already, and water will flow down it. What I could potentially do is use this path to channel water into a swale that'll run here, and then catch some more water that'd flow down here, and another swale that'd run here down that path. One of the things is that path doesn't quite line up to this path here, so it couldn't be a continuous swale across both sides of the garden. What my thinking is dig down maybe a foot and a half, and then just fill it with mulch. So dig down a foot and a half, and then just completely fill it with compost and wood chip. Well, not compost, just completely fill it with logs and wood chips, and it'll act like a soakaway, but at the same time it'll act like something to hold water. So let me know your thoughts on what I could do with this, and if you think those swales would actually work here, and if you think they'd be able to control some of the water flow and help with the drainage in this garden in winter, and help with the water retention in the summer. Yeah, so what it'd be we've got three main garden beds, and in front of the three main garden beds we could have one swale in front of each one, and we could fill that with mulch and fill that with wood chips and logs and all kinds of rotting wood, in a way of slowing the water down in the winter. Will it also hold and help irrigate my beds in the summer? So that's one of my thoughts. So I'd love your feedback on it. Drop me a comment and let me know what you think. Thanks very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.